I read Montaigne's essay on books. I wanted to see if he had any reading tips or insights that I hadn't yet considered when I read. Here's what I think you should know from his essay on books. First off, let's start with the basic question, why even read? What I'm doing when I read is trying to find my theory of the world. And Montaigne has a very similar concept of this. He calls it finding his theme. We grow up with a lot of influences in our environment, whether it be parents, mentors, teachers, whatever. And so at one point or another, I think it's interesting to eventually sit back with yourself and read some books and figure out what it is you actually believe aside from the influence of others. That doesn't mean disregard their influence entirely or not let it be a part of you. It just means let's see what you think, independently of all those people. The second thing I liked from this essay is how writers should get to the point. Adam Smith makes a point about this in his lectures on rhetoric and bell letter. Let me find it. Right here, lectures on rhetoric and bell letter. One of my favorites that I read, I think it was last year. These are lectures at the University of Scotland, and he talks about how writers should have a sense of perspicuity when they write. Just tell us what you're trying to say in plain language, please. That's Adam Smith. Montaigne, other book, says, while you're at it, while you're being succinct with what you're saying, let's get to the point, shall we? I think we've all read books, fiction and nonfiction alike, where you finally get to like the end of the sentence. You get to the point and you're like, man, that would have been great 5 pages back. And last but certainly not least, Montaigne meanders through this essay to a few different topics, and one of them is artistry as a whole. And his point here that I'm going to take from this essay is that artists who convey their essence tend to be more captivating than artists who stick to some sort of a structure. And he was speaking specifically to artists that rely on structure in order to be captivating or effective. Montaigne is very much about bringing yourself to a project. When you read Montaigne, I think you'll get a better understanding of what he means by this, because as I said, there's no structure to Montaigne's writing. He writes his thoughts down as they come to him, and he purposefully leaves them in the order in which they came to him. Montaigne is all essence, no structure. I don't take him to mean that any structure is bad or wanting to structure your work in some way is bad. I think he's just saying, hey, if you're structuring your work, don't snuff out your artistic essence, because that's why we're all here. We're wanting to see that. That's what I gathered from Montaigne's essay on books. If that was helpful to you in any way, let me know down below in the comments section what you thought. If you liked the video, then like the video. Like, comment, do whatever you like. I hope you got something out of this, and I certainly thank you for clicking on the video, and as always, I hope to see you in the next one.